Hey, howdy, how's it going? My name is Bennjipie. OG Fortnite has been out for a couple months, and with the release of Season 2, now is the perfect time to talk about OG as a whole. You might be new around here, and if you are, I appreciate you clicking on the video. Don't worry, this isn't just a bunch of hating for no reason, nor am I going to be dick-riding the game. This video is just analyzing the material that is put in front of us right now. And I would like to say two things. First of all, how come you haven't watched my entire channel already? I expect dedication out of you, soldier. And second, I don't know if I'll end up making videos for each season, so I figured why not make a video that talks about all of OG. I highly suggest you comment down below letting me know your thoughts about OG, because who knows, maybe a community manager or someone from Epic will magically see this and make changes, but we know damn well that's basically never going to happen. Anyways, I got 4 main talking points for OG. We got a chapters feature at the bottom in case you don't want to hear my spiel on certain things, and subscribe. Go ahead, I'm waiting. Matter of fact, since you took so long, like this video. And, you know, if you're on like a computer or whatever, you can see it. It might be on your phone as well. If I say like the video, the thing lights up. Isn't that cool? Might do the same thing for subscribe. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool. I need to sum up Season 1 and 2, so hope you guys don't mind. OG Season 1 lasted a little too long in my opinion. I think it would have been fine to have this only last 1 month since there was bare-ass nothing. It was fun, it was a good introduction, it's the perfect start, but man, it didn't really hold up, it didn't age well. There were little things like the UI not changing for this mode. You can still super sprint and slide, 0 builds exist, they added ranked for each mode as well. You know, ammo wasn't maxed out to 999, bots and skill-based matchmaking were added eventually, certain weapon models didn't look the same, they randomly decided to change the slurp juice. I honestly view a lot of that as nitpicking, but it's still an honest critique. I talked a lot recently with people who are, you know, not super focused on the game. They do other things like, you know, work a job and play other video games. People that are basically just not chronically online, and they looked at OG and they were surprised. Most people were just happy to play the game like it was before. Sadly for those people with no bots or skill-based matchmaking and how they are used to having their handheld, they just left. The launch to the season was terrible, just as much as the ending to it. The launch was great for people who really love a challenge and what Fortnite truly was like around 8 years ago. There was no bots, no NPCs, no robots, no fake players, nothing. And on top of this, there was no skill-based matchmaking. It was random for whoever was in your game. Pure bliss. It was very rage-inducing, don't get me wrong, but it was much more enjoyable than, you know, finishing a match out and seeing that the bot was the last player you had to kill. So many people online talked about how much they loved this mode. I saw so many tweets about it, so many posts about it. But casuals, people with jobs, you know, people that want it their way or no way, you know, the broad majority, they managed to bitch enough to get that hot fixed. It was like a doomsday event. Leakers were sending tweets out left, right, and center, talking about how bots and skill-based were just added back. It killed the real fun, the organic, natural fun that was Fortnite OG. Anytime I won before skill-based matchmaking or bots were added actually felt memorable. I can still remember them. Now I don't, because it's always the same thing every time. I think realistically, if we could ever go back to that, it would require removing ranked from 0 builds and builds, and adding an option for bots and skill-based matchmaking with a little explanation on the side for each of them. That way, players can have agency and can choose if they want to play against bots or not, or people of the same skill or not. The reason why a lot of people enjoyed the way OG was at launch was because for so long, players had experienced a match where the last player was a bot or the team that they killed were bots. It happens all the time. Maybe a match just felt way too easy. Maybe later on it felt way too hard because you won a match very easily. They knew that it wasn't luck, it was just an algorithm. OG allowed for those players to really test themselves and feel like they earned the win that they got. If bots and all that were added right away before launch, this mode would have kept a lot more players, but it would have felt the exact same as everything else, just as much as it does now. But okay, enough rambling. Random hot take time. I think the Zapatron should have been added to the game, at least for like the last week or something, or the last couple days. It would have given a reason for people to come back, and then once they left, Season 2 would have drawn everyone back in again. The Zapatron has never really been seen before. It's part of the game's history, but we know damn well Epic is trying to get as far away from that as possible. Also, I really like this battle pass besides this guy, and it wasn't really that impressive since they re-released OG skins because they went through a lawsuit. But don't worry, if you bought it before, you got compensated for it. You got a whole new style. So no more whining about, do not buy the Renegade Raider skin, respect the OGs. Get a fucking life. I gave the launch to this a bunch of shit about, you know, certain weapons being in the game, weapons and items weren't changed, but without even listing them off, everything that I can think of off the top of my head within the first day or so has been fixed. This video is coming out at a weird time, so maybe they did something else. I don't care. I'm glad that what they messed up is back to normal. But Tilted Towers. This POI actually kills the game, funnily enough. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's always going to be the place to land at. You get the most action here, and by the second circle, a fifth of the lobby is dead. And something that people have pointed out like 5,000 times is yes, this is like the 10th time they have brought back Tilted Towers. I'm glad we have launch pads dropping more frequently because that was a big issue in Season 1, but in Zero builds, why can't I just place a launch pad on the ground like normal? Why do I need a bunker? That makes bunkers even more valuable, and they need to drop more frequently if that's going to be the case. Also, bunkers go like 99% of the way in the ground sometimes, which needs to seriously be looked at. This is a big problem and ruins this mode. And you know, it bothered me at first. I can learn to accept it, but I will still ask, where are all the other items that are supposed to be added? Apparently we got the impulse grenades, but are we getting them every week? Are you adding them all at once, like in the middle of the season? Will you treat it like a mid-season patch or something? Because Chapter 2 Remix kind of proved that if you just add stuff once a week, people keep coming back. If it's just a mid-season patch, then people will leave just as fast as they joined. And also the battle pass is worth buying only for this glider and this emote. This is probably going to be a small topic since it doesn't need much explaining. Ranked Zero builds for OG is a useless mode. There is no point in having a game mode like this. You will end up waiting like 30 to 45 minutes to have a chance at getting into a match. And that's hoping that you're below plat. I can sort of say the same thing for, you know, ranked builds as well since the player count is pretty low. And I only say that because Reload consistently has like 100,000 players in ranked. And what's funny is the lobbies are smaller. So that means that there's even bigger chance at being like elite, you know, Unreal, champion, and still being able to get into a game before you hit the 10-minute mark. If we removed the ranked modes, it would allow for more players to be in the two main modes for OG. And like I said before, we should just be given the option to queue against bots and or people of similar skill. Believe me when I tell you, if you explain it correctly to your players, most people will not want bots in their match. Most people will not want skill-based matchmaking. Obviously, this is just about splitting the players, but at the same time, most brain-dead Fortnite players that love bots more than their unborn child will tell you to play ranked if you don't like bots. Two things: I don't want to make my matches even sweatier than they already are because I am clearing you in terms of KD and everything. Don't even test me there. And I shouldn't have to wait for more than 5 minutes to play a match without bots. It doesn't make sense. The argument is also really stupid because they think that their opinion trumps over everything. So it's like, okay, well, I'm glad you gave your opinion and told me to fuck off. Appreciate that, homie.
I love you.
Fuck off.
I hate to be the one to say it, but I think we're never getting the version of OG that most dedicated longtime players have hoped for. Not only is it impossible since they swapped engines, but Epic is able to do just enough in order to satisfy the broader audience. So if you aren't happy about it, they're still racking in a ton of cash and they don't care if you leave. I've said it like 100 times, but the way people played years ago isn't able to be recreated. The amount of people that were new to the game and were just playing for fun, they had no idea if they would play the game tomorrow or uninstall. It was much better back then. And you know, the way that we have it now, the movement, the explosives, and how they affect builds, even turbo building, all of it is just going to stay the way that it is. There is a reason why people do fan-made projects on this game. It's because they want the true one-to-one recreation. But I do not suggest downloading those. Apparently you can get viruses and stuff, so just don't fuck with that. I'd play this game for like 6 hours every day. That slowly stopped over the years. For what Epic is trying to attempt, I believe in terms of mainstream gaming, which is what Fortnite basically is at the moment. It's the most mainstream game. They succeeded more than they ever could imagine. OG is never bringing back the old movement. It's not bringing back the old HUD. It's not going to bring back the things that really made Chapter 1 of Fortnite feel like Fortnite. So all those memories you have of the game being super fun, don't worry. Those were great times, but that was also a time of the past, before gaming companies viewed you as a consumer rather than a player. OG is fun as long as you stop caring, honestly. And with skill-based matchmaking, the insane competitive side of this game, bots, and ranked, it's pretty clear that if you experienced Fortnite when it was first released, you hit a gold mine, and a gold mine like that is never going to be tapped into like how Fortnite was ever again. I appreciate if you watched up until this point. I'm going to try making more content like this. If you like it, like the video. If you don't, dislike. Comment down below your thoughts. It's really up to you. It's all optional. Thank you to my members for supporting the channel. Thank you to anyone who has used my code recently. I love you. If you haven't done it yet, join my Discord. The link is down in the description. Anyone is welcome. I hope you guys have a great day, night, week, month, whole rest of the year. It really doesn't matter when it is, but I hope that it's great for you guys. See ya.